Welcome to Kali Mahora with me, George Galloway, for Al Mayadeen Television, coming to you from London, but discussing the dollar, which means we're discussing the whole world. Some people think the American military is their, well, not so secret weapon. I've always believed that the key to United States hegemony in the world was their dollar, more particularly their stranglehold over the exchange in the SWIFT system, which allows them essentially to lock other people out of the international economy. Ever since the Saudi Arabian regime agreed to price its product, the black gold oil, in US dollars exclusively, the United States, when it came off the gold standard, has depended upon that dollar hegemony. The dollar, in short, was king. However, slowly but surely, the emergence of China as a superpower rival, and very soon, I believe sooner than the Chinese like to admit, China's economy will be bigger than the United States. Ipso facto, their currency becomes attractive to people as a reserve currency, as a means of trade in the world. If only people had the political confidence, maybe courage, to actually insist that we don't really want to deal with dollars anymore. They are, after all, only paper, and not worth the paper they are increasingly not written on, because these are merely digital transactions overwhelmingly. When I say the United States dollar is not worth the paper that it isn't written on, I mean that the deficits, the level of indebtedness of the United States, the absolute lack of correlation between fundamental strength in the American economy and the strength of their currency is now so vast, but also so transparently obvious. The United States just prints money. It just keeps on printing money. And that money is related to nothing very much real or concrete. Certainly not related to gold. It's certainly not related to economic performance. If it was, the US dollar would be practically worthless. The proximate reason for the whole world now beginning to pay attention to a subject that was once upon a time only of interest in rarefied circles, very clever people like the people I've got in the studio with me tonight. The reason everyone's now focused on it is that the wave of economic warfare unleashed by the United States and the European Union against Russia has completed the absolute unity of Russia and China, with some countries like India, Iran, Venezuela, not quite in that absolute unity, but beginning to orbit around that Eurasian future that China and Russia have postulated. In which case, what's the point of India buying dollars to pay Russia for gas? What's the point of it? Why not India pay Russia in rubles, or in rupees and rubles? Ditto, vice versa. Russia and China are now trading openly in their own currencies with no need of the dollar. And the SWIFT system is beginning to come under strain, because just like you can have two Facebooks in the world, two Twitters in the world, you can have two SWIFT systems in the world. And China has developed its own. Now, I'm just the enthusiastic amateur asking this question. Is the dollar the key to US hegemony? And the corollary being obvious. If the dollar is no longer king, does US hegemony die with it?